That was like the whole idea. It's like life just said, no, you're going to do something else. You know, life told me to do something else, so.
Yeah, sure, man. That'd be cool. I mean, again, like I didn't want to disturb you if because obviously you have your own privacy. I don't want to mess you. Yeah, cool.
It's like not a big deal. Most of the time, it's like.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so as I was saying,
let's see. What can you sit on? I can grab that stool down there.
I sit down all day, man. Yeah, I can. I'll just kneel down here. Yeah. So.
There's a lot of things you could do, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the only thing that I don't like about it is that the US can tax you anywhere, so you can get taxed even if you're in another country for your income. So it's kind of like
your W-2 in another country.
Yeah,
they can tax it because you're a U.S. citizen.
Exactly.
So I got it. You got a social security number.
Yeah.
And then any corporation you set up, I guess that would be separate from but you, the individual.
Yeah. So if
you like set up an LLC is what you do.
Yeah.
And then get around it. So like when you I-9 contract with people when you go foreign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was the idea. You know how you can get complacency and you're in a good spot and you just feel like what's the point of life, because you're kind of in that situation where
we're having for years. Like we tried to buy a house for my wife. I tried to sell it down. I bought a house in August of 2018, and then I quit that job because I just the circumstances, regarding everything that I was going through. I can't believe it. It's like that, that Grateful Dead song, the one where the guy's going to Nevada and he's trying to get out of Utah, and if they catch him, he's going to spend his life in jail. Exactly like that song. It's weird. I don't get it. It's like, I have this extended family, and it's like they want me to just get the hell out of here. And have you heard about that? Maybe so, maybe not. No, it seems like there was just a big push to get me to leave Utah. Get out of there.
Well,
Nobody was happy that I was a surveyor. Nobody was happy and there wasn't anything wrong with my survey work. And really, there isn't. It's just that, I don't know. It's like nobody really wanted me to do it. I have cousins, they have businesses and uncles that are in construction, and they know tons and tons of people.
Yeah.
And they just didn't. It's like they didn't even. It's like they just shit talked me. They didn't want me to be successful.
Did you have your own business as a surveyor?
I had my own business for a little bit. I did a few surveys. There's a guy in North Dakota, and so I'd review his surveys. He's a civil engineer. He's from California. He did really good survey work because you just have to be in responsible charge as a surveyor. So I would review the situation and go over what his field guy had done, and then sign and stamp a Mylar. And then I did some survey work out in Vernal for a guy. But that was about it. I didn't have my own business. I just usually worked with people.
Right.
It's about $80,000 a year job.
Really?
Yeah. So it was good work.
So how did it kind of change from like that to?
I decided to quit going to work. Just things started happening.
Yeah.
Kind of like there was a new awareness that sort of came to me.
Yeah.
I became aware of something. It's like this should have happened when I was 20.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. And then when I tried to talk to people about it, it was just like denied it, and I knew that there was something to it. So it was like I knew it before, but it's just an awareness of things. I don't know how to say that, but I figured until I can sort that out, I can't deal with first of all, they isolate me. I don't talk to any family members. So that's like the first thing. And there's 5 family members that are just nuclear.
Right.
None of them, all of a sudden, they abruptly stopped talking to me, just abruptly. And then this new awareness just brought me to some things that were like, I was perceiving things that just other signs, There's the non-written communication, written communication part of it, and then there's the part where they don't talk to you at all. That's the message. I mean, that's the what are they saying by that? And then I have my 2 children.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't do anything. The incident precipitated them like getting a protective order. It was basically nothing. I told my mom to call the cops, because she was freaking out. She wouldn't let me stay at the house. I wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
And so I bought my own house and moved to Ogden, and then it was like these people in Ogden just came and started hanging out at the house, and and then they started doing all this work and shit. It just got like. It became like they're going to take this house and you're going to have to leave Utah because your family ain't going to help you out at all.
Right. Were you renting or did you own the house?
I owned it. I owned the house. I bought it.
Oh, okay.
I approved. Yeah. My wife and I were going to buy a house.
Right.
We had a bankruptcy like back in 2012, 2011, 2010. We bought a house before, and then I was going to buy my own place. So my deed would read like James Taylor, a married man. So it was my house, but we're still married. So I was planning on getting divorced, and I just left the state. And I went to North Dakota to work with that other guy. Then I got a job in Colorado, and I have 2 brothers that live in Colorado. And when I got to Colorado, it's like one of them refused to talk to me, and I couldn't understand that because like that just seemed odd. And then like nobody wanted to talk to me on Christmas or Thanksgiving at all. And so I lived in Littleton for a little while until my apartment lease. I was evicted. I was evicted from my apartment there. And,
right.
So since that was about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, a little over 3 years ago.
It's super difficult to get established once you kind of...
Oh, no. Well, what the problem was that it was just how my family treated me.
Yeah.
Like, they don't talk to me. My mom blocked me. She's a CPA, and she helped me with my taxes. And I had like an eBay things going on. I had some gambling liability, and I had some other things.
Right.
And they, she wouldn't even talk to me. She sent me emails and told me to talk to her, but then she wouldn't answer the phone. It's like she goes straight to voicemail every time I try to call her. That's never happened before.
Yeah, that is kind of weird that she would.
Yeah, when your whole family cuts you off.
Yeah.
So for the last 4 years, I've been basically just trying to figure that out. Why does my family cut me off? Why do I not get to see my kids at all? Because I'm not a felon. I'm not a registered sex offender or anything like that. I didn't go to prison.
Yeah.
I have a misdemeanor conviction, and that's it. That's it. So I don't know why, like, 4 years, my family doesn't talk to me. I don't see my kids.
Was there any sort of event that you like could trigger that you'd think that would be a reason, though? Or you just completely?
It would be the fact that.
I mean, you don't have to say it if you don't want to. It's private, obviously.
No,
but
I'll just say that it sounds to me like I'm being gaslit.
Right.
Because of the way that they isolate me and cut me off so that there's nobody that communicates with me.
Yeah.
So if you don't communicate with anybody, your mind starts to communicate with itself.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
Your mind starts to communicate with something else. And the way that they treat me is being kind of like spelled out in these long, drawn-out conversations that I have because of the isolation. The isolation, so I'm smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
Hearing voices. Yeah. My mind is like reacting to the stress of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with anyone that silences you, generally that's an attack against you. It's not a direct attack. It's a step back attack.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you obviously, if you don't talk to somebody, then clearly there's something that's not being able to be discussed, so you can't resolve the problem, whatever that is, and that's kind of a punishment. That's how I feel about people that silence other people.
Like when they isolate you out, the whole group of people isolate you out.
Yeah.
There's nobody in your life that talks to you anymore.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
Yeah, and I don't know whether or not they are all communicating to...
Well, it could be the fact that I didn't have this awareness.
Yeah.
And now that I have an awareness and I've had like a couple of years to work on it, I've realized I don't freak out like I used to.
Yeah.
With this, now it's like, okay, I can just turn the noise off. I can put it in perspective.
Legs just gone dead. Yeah. No, you're good.
I think that I think that ultimately what's going to happen is the way that I act on my own independently.
Yeah.
It's going to influence the way that they treat me eventually.
Yeah.
The way I talk to them in my head and all this, somehow it's going to revert back through the situation, and they'll be okay with me again. I think that I was just too stressed out and anxious,
So how have you been, since you've been coping here? Is it, because I know that, obviously, like you're saying, the silence and the isolation, I guess you get adapted to that?
Yes, I do, yeah. I do.
I guess you got to kind of just...
Well, I try to do other things. I try to meditate or something.
Yeah.
I used to walk around a lot, but here in Phoenix, Las Vegas, you can't really do that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just too hot.
Yeah.
Normally, I'll, just kind of, I smoke a lot of pot. I'll get a bus pass and I'll go to the airport, and I can get free pot at the airport because people are dropping it off. They're leaving it there.
That's cool.
You can't take it on the plane. So
that's genius.
Yeah, I got this at the airport yesterday. Tons and tons of pot at the airport.
That's crazy.
So that's one thing I learned out how to do. I fly sign, and that takes up my time, and then I'll gamble,
Yeah.
Gambling takes up the time, but it's like people are giving me money. So if they know I'm gambling,
Yeah.
it's like I don't get as much money. It's that way.
Yeah. I guess you got to work around the way of that one.
Sure.
But well, maybe just not gambling might be the workaround. But yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, I sorry. I don't mean to take up your time and talk your ear off.
No. I got nothing else to do, to be honest.
Sure.
I mean, that's kind of the reason why I came here. Like I said to you before, like I had a lot of stuff in Australia, and just having stuff to me is, I'm kind of like you.
I had a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, we're still married. She hasn't divorced me yet, and we've got tons of stuff. We've got like all the basement full of like crap.
Yeah.
It's like Rosebud. It's like seriously, like the movie Citizen Kane, where he's got like it's like we have that much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. This simple life is it's kind of nice.
I don't know, and that's the thing that I seem to hear, like, not to say it's a common trend, but I feel like a lot of people that I've spoken to so far, because like I said to you, there's another guy that was down at the freeway, and he said the same thing. Like he was a stage engineer,
sure,
and he used to do a lot of like high rigging and stuff like that, and he got paid ridiculous amount of money.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I feel free.
He makes $1 million a year, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I feel free that I don't have to have a responsibility. Not so much as that.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. It's like,
yeah,
if I do go back to work, I'll probably stay homeless because of how much money I make. I've like imagined I can't believe how much money I've spent in 20 years. I spent all this money. Like a millionaire a couple times over.
Yeah.
If I was smart, but yeah, that's the thing. I feel like it's like I kind of like it now. I don't have to deal with my kids. All they did was scream. I know that's bad.
No.
I miss my kids.
Yeah. I'm sure you love them. Like,
pain in the ass to get up and go to work, and then to come home and be a dad. It's hard work.
Yeah.
My wife. So
yeah.
Going on, and then we're fighting and arguing all the time. So probably just my family wanted me to get the hell out. Just get the hell out of here until you figure your shit out.
Yeah, I guess, and sometimes maybe that is a solution. I don't know. Like I can't judge anyone for any choice they make, because.
Well, you probably got it pretty good, but you make good decisions. You've obviously like taken care of yourself. You can work here,
Yeah.
Make money.
Well, yeah, but it's not to say it's not difficult, like you said. Like, it's not to say I wake up every day and it's roses.
Yeah. Ultimately, I have to say that I chose to be here.
Yeah.
If I didn't say it that way, it would be. But But man, I had no idea what life was like sometimes. So
I guess. You don't really know until you hit the rock bottom there, right? Sometimes.
Things change, I started partying with people, and all of a sudden my head changed, And I was a guy that went to work and came home and drank,
Yeah.
I mean, I drank and I smoked pot and stuff, but I started partying, and then all of a sudden my head is different, so I don't drink anymore,
Yeah.
I still smoke weed,
but anyone, like anyone could ignore their surroundings no matter what you do. Like a lot of people that are rich CEOs or whatever, like they can ignore their surroundings, never really come to reality until something hits them, either, physically, mentally, or whatever. And then they realize they're just a human being, right? Like, because you could have a health issue, you could have some kind of family loss or whatever, and eventually...
It's a midlife crisis, that's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, and...
This happens when I'm in my 40s. We'll get it done. We'll get back to work when I'm 50 years. Next year, I'm 46.
I love the optimism, it's so good though.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay, so, you're 38, all right.
Yeah. To me, life, the main importance to me, well, I don't know about you, but I believe in God. And
I do. I've had to readjust that, try to figure out what that means. For the longest time, I didn't care about anything. I just worked, and I hated my wife, and I hated my job, and I hated my life. Came home and drank, and worked, surveyed, and I hated our clients. I hated everybody.
Right.
I hated the civil engineers. I couldn't stand that.
Yeah, I can see how that can happen though. Like,
I got burned out.
And how easy is that to happen though when you think about it? Because
what happens is your midlife crisis. Most guys though, they have money. They've they've kind of arrived to a certain point. They at least have equity in their home, or they're divorced, and then they got clean new credit. So bankruptcy discharge, and then they can go out and spend money and have fun. And they're living in their one bed.
Yeah, but I bet you they still feel empty. Like there's a certain degree of this emptiness that never really gets filled. And I think that's when that for me, that's the God part, because
it can't be my wife, it can't be my kids, it can't be my mother and father, and it can't be my job or my career or the money I have in the bank or my investments. It can't be any of that. That's never going to make me happy.
And that part because all of those things you had. And
this doesn't get me off. This doesn't do anything for me.
Exactly.
So I don't know how that works, but I'll probably just go back to work.
Well, I mean, all I can say is I'm impressed with your capabilities of understanding, you know, like, because obviously this isn't optimal. You know.
I'm not a sharp guy. I mean, I went to college and stuff, but they told me I was a sharp kid.
Yeah.
It's just like I missed. There was like a communication thing. I'm a guy that used to like smell bad. I didn't change my socks. I wore the same pants at work every week.
Right.
And then I like had a crappy attitude, and I was grouchy. I had this like look on my face, this like stuck look.
Yeah.
It's like I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, wait a minute, you were supposed to be flexing your muscles. You remember when your mom was maybe with you? You have to go back to that period of time because you just get so frumpy and angry all the time. And when you're frumpy and angry, you just turn into a monster.
Yeah.
So people thought I was literally mentally ill. They thought I was mentally ill the way I acted.
I don't think you are. I just think...
No, it's different now. You know, I'm a little talkative, but...
yeah.
And maybe there's a borderline issue. Since I'm a surveyor, there's borderline personality. There is a little bit of that. Am I getting too personal with you, or am I being too standoffish? I'm very difficult. It's hard. That area. So, but I'm not so angry. I'm not so pissed off. I'm not such a drunk.
Yeah. You know? Well, I guess you had plenty of time.
It's probably about time to go back to work. It really is. It's too much fun. It's too much fun. It's really nice that you out here just do whatever for this thing. I feel like this or that or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you're happy enough to be in the situation. You know, like, because the only thing I would ever say the worst part about it is the heat during the day. That's the hardest thing out of all of it, to be honest.
Oh yeah. And it's really nice here most of the year round because it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So the cold isn't so like frigid cold like back east or something.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, do you want me to bring you another one of these waters or something? Maybe.
Oh yeah, no, dude, you don't got to do anything like that.
You sure?
I'm good. Yeah, I've got to take a walk and go do things. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm healthy. You know, I'm not destitute out here. I'm not dying. I'm not like in total need. You know, I got my pot from the airport. You know, I'll probably, I'll be all right. I'll probably be okay. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep an eye on.
Sure. If you guys got some food or something, that might be good. Cause I can get the water for free. You know, if you got any food, you know.
Yeah.
Food if you have any, but don't worry about anything else. You know.
Okay.
But that's just if you feel like you could.
No, absolutely.
I don't need anything right now, man. I'm probably okay.
Yeah. No.
I appreciate you guys stopping by.